Anybody who likes to talk to a Geordie, there's one word that they always ask them to say, and it's Kawasaki.
Well, there we go then. Perfect. It's not even a sponsor.
Hi, welcome to part 2.
Today we're going to be talking about some more J-League shirts, but from some brands that you perhaps wouldn't see so often in certainly the European leagues. So we've got Admiral, a bit of Asics and Mizuno as well. So two of these obviously being Japanese brands themselves. One of them, though, is a British brand.
Yeah, but this is a local franchise, I think.
I think so.
So I think basically for those that don't know what that is, Admiral, that was obviously a British brand, franchises its name out. There'll be a company in Japan that owns the rights to use that logo, and they will make their kits locally. And I have to say, this Jubilo Iwata kit is arguably one of the nicest kits I've seen this season.
Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable find. And there's so much I want to talk about. So basically, if you look at the kit straight away, I think Kevin Keegan, England kit, back in the day, superb reference point, and arguably Admiral's most famous kit of all time. And it just goes on. The badge is actually really beautifully done. It's a high build transfer with the Admiral logo, which is really lovely because with it having its lines through it, it's not taking up too much of the fabric, and it's really soft and malleable. Then you've got the neckline, which is just being executed so nicely. It's got the little Admiral football tape and detail through the back neck. But again, if you just look at the stitching detail, it's lovely. The badge itself, although it's a little bit sparkly, it's actually really quite nice, and there's a lot of detail in it. It's not as malleable as some of the others.
But we have seen a similar type of one on one of the previous kits where that was actually super stiff. I think I referred to it as being like a credit card.
Yeah.
So it's a big move on from where we've seen this type of execution before.
Yeah, I don't actually mind it. As an overall kit, I think it looks great. It's obviously got the 3 stars with reference to the J-League. Mark it down a little bit with a Mahusa patch that it's got on the arm. There's obviously a few of the kits that have had these, so I can only presume that these have been late sponsors.
Locally relevant. But the stitching behind it is perfect.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? And then obviously you've got the J-League logo again, which we've seen a few different references. However, the thing that I want to talk about the most is the jacquard that we have on the front of the shirt. For anybody looking at it, you may think it's a cloud, you may think it's just an abstract camo. But in actual fact, if you know the history of the brand and you know the history of the team, if you look really closely, the jacquard is actually made up of the UK and
of Lake Hamata. So Jubilo are from the Iwata prefecture in Japan. They're based in the city of Hamamatsu. And if you look really closely, when you've ordered one from Subside Sports and you've got it in your hands, you'll be able to see in the shiny, more bright yarn that's run through the jacquard is Lake Hamata. And then if I turn it this way around, in the more dull part of the yarn, you'll be able to see Great Britain. Whether there's any meaning to the fact that Great Britain's dull and Japan is nice and shiny, I'll leave that to you guys to figure out. We're not doing politics on this particular video.
Yeah, I wish you would stop with the old politics because it's a football show, kids. But yeah, so guys, this is not about promoting the sale for Subside. This is about getting a hold of arguably one of the nicest kits we've seen this year. And if I was to give this marks out of 11, and you're going to be shocked by this, I would arguably give this a 10. Which is probably the highest mark I've given to any football kit, because it'll look absolutely awesome with a pair of jeans, and it's going to look totally different from anything else that you've got in your collection.
What's the reason, or part of the reason why that's getting such a high score, is unique jacquards like this were a thing up until probably the early 2000s. And then fabric mills started needing more and more of a minimum order quantity. So to do a unique jacquard for a team, it needed to be a mega club so that the brand could justify ordering 3,000, 5,000 yards of material. So Admiral, as the brand that were the first ones to sell replica kit, have actually kind of gone back in time really in creating such a bespoke jacquard for a team. And it's not a Man United or a Real Madrid, you know, they're not going to be selling a million of these shirts.
But I think what's interesting is if you know the culture of design within Japan and you know the rich history of Japan, If you go to places like Osaka, you know, they've got a rich history in making some of the best fabrics on the planet. And I'm not just talking football now. You know, if I think of like some of the jackets that I've done over the years, we've always gone to Japan for some of their fabrics because they are absolutely on point. I think it's absolutely ingenious. Honestly, it's great.
And you won't see this fabric on any other team in the world.
No, exactly. It's fantastic.
Get it in your collection. Really, really good shirt.
Next,
Vissel Kobe. Their nickname is the Cows. So Kobe beef, I guess, being just as Japan's great for fabric, it's also great for steaks.
It's probably the same colour as I would like me steaks, rare.
Within the fabric itself, it's all completely sublimated. The hem execution's quite unusual but quite nice, where they've done the twin needle really close to the hem.
I don't like that, mate.
Does it bust?
That's not that it's bust, it's the fact that it's all going white.
Yeah, the green through. It's not a super nice fabric. It feels very heavy. It actually feels nicer where it's been printed.
I actually don't mind the inside of that, you know.
Really?
No, I don't mind that.
Oh, no. Cool.
I mean, I've seen worse.
What I do like is, obviously, there's a sponsor logo there that appeals to the likes of me. Regain, perhaps Andre Iniesta as well might be interested in that. Within the main sponsor logo on the front, Rakuten, huge global brand, sponsor Barcelona as well. The CEO of the company was born in Kobe, and so there is the local reference within the sponsor logo here of the mountain with the building in front and then the port of Kobe referenced in the bottom. So nice that it's got something that feels like a local graphic and is. I think the overall graphic's quite nice. I do like how it works in with the logo. It feels very integrated rather than obviously a sponsor logo's just slapped on typically.
Yeah.
What I don't love is we've even got print on the neckline. It's not rib.
No. Graphic apart, I think you've been very kind.
It's a weak shirt.
Because I would arguably say that this is something that you would expect to find on a stall outside of Barcelona's ground.
There's a lot of stuff they could have done differently. That could have been 2 seams at the side, making it more comfortable for the athlete. It is fully sublimated, which you could argue reduces weight, but it definitely reduces quality as well.
They've gone with one technology and they've stuck with it. You know, there's a couple of badges added on, but the main part, it's all one. What I would say about this though, Rob, is because it is all sublimated and the neckline has been done and it's a V-neck and it's just basically side seams and a set-in sleeve, I'd hate to think that this is going to be super expensive. But to be fair, it's not a bad looking kit.
No.
You know, if I was collecting J-League kits, I'd definitely have that in my collection.
Yeah.
And the graphic on the back is actually really smart, you know, where you put the number. Massive fan of Japanese text, obviously.
That actually says Geordie stink in Japanese.
Well, it probably does, because anybody who likes to talk to a Geordie, there's one word that they always ask them to say, and it's Kawasaki.
Well, there we go then. Perfect. It's not even a sponsor. They put it on to take the piss out of you.
Yeah, exactly. But I quite like the back, so yeah, I actually don't mind it. If I was going to give it marks, then I'd probably give it maybe a 4, pushing maybe a 5 because it's got the word Kawasaki on.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think probably a 4. Visually, I would score it much higher, but it is like they've literally printed the design onto 4 pieces of fabric.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, next one. Let's go.
Next one. The Nagoya Grampus 8 shirt, famous for Gary Lineker playing for them way back when.
This is massive.
This is massive. It's a 2XL like the others, but I'm guessing this is going to be a British 2XL, which is ironic given that Mizuno is obviously a Japanese brand. So these are the same size, according to the back neck label.
Yeah, so before you purchase them, kids, have a look at this sizing.
Plenty of room for your guns in this one, though, mate.
Yeah, and my belly.
But yeah, one for the conspiracy theorists. We've got a 5G logo on the top as well. So this one, pretty similar to what we've just looked at, really. It's just fully sublimated. I don't think anything's heat transfer applied on this one apart from the club crest. It's just a basic sublimated t-shirt. I'd be surprised if this was even actually yellow. I bet if we cut it open, it'd be
you don't need
white
it.
on the other.
Tell you straight away.
Just stretch it. Nah, it's poor. The graphic is seemingly meaningless. Yes, it's in the club colours, but just no redeeming features, to be honest with you. It's got this little bit here about the prefecture and the different cities within it, but
I don't actually, I mean, as a football kit from a distance, I don't actually mind it so much.
it would have looked nice on Melchester Rovers back in the day.
Anyway, quickly, marks out of 11.
2.
I'd give it a bit more than that. I'd give it a 3 because I think visually it looks all right. I like the bright coloured neckline. I think it's quite distinctive.
Yeah.
But overall, I think some of the J-League kits are absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. I love them.
Definitely worth adding to your collection. So if you agree with us or disagree, leave a comment down below. If you want to get your hands on these, head over to Subside Sports. And if you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. And that's enough of me dishing out orders. We'll see you next time. If you notice the orca on the front there, Grampus is the Cornish word for orca. So
I did know that, actually.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I know you're a big fan of Cornish heritage.
Well, I'm a big fan of Wales.
And Cornish pasties.
And Cornish pasties.